Hello, my name is Edwin Garcia, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'd like to talk about how last July, I almost quit music. So, how did that happen? Well, it all started in the first week of July. I went to go see my sister, who now lives in San Francisco. She recently moved to San Francisco earlier in 2019, so for summer, I decided to see her for the week of 4th of July and hang out with her and just overall, see the sights, see the city, see my sister again, and that was my plan. So I went to go see her, and we talk about a lot of things. We talk about life, constantly, because it's something that we always do, kind of pushing each other, holding each other accountable, talking about what's been going on in life. And when I was doing that, I was talking a lot about side projects that I want to do, specifically projects on in more of a journalistic aspect, running a website, putting up media content for different types of passions that I have. Some of the passions I have that maybe I haven't mentioned as much on this channel because this is a music channel, obviously, is sports. I like writing about sports, and I do a lot of writing for WNBA, for particularly the Chicago Sky and things like that, which I don't think many people know about me. And I also like to talk about and write about, when I do write about it, games. And just like my sister does, she's actually a writer for IGN. That's her profession. So I like those worlds. I like writing. I like creating. A few years back, I ran a website called The Jazz Loop for 5 years. And I was really consistent with that and working on that website. Writing about jazz music, things I was doing in jazz, things, music that was coming out, classic album reviews, things like that. And I stopped doing that because I got too busy. So that was okay, because I felt like, okay, it's time to move on from this. I'm getting a lot of gigs and stuff, thankfully, which is always a blessing. But it got to the point where I couldn't really commit the time that I wanted to the Jazz Loop, so I let it go. And when talking to her about other projects, she kind of noticed the scales didn't make sense, that it was too much for, she knows how busy I am with everything else that I do, and she was like, it kind of sounds like you want to do this more than music and things like that. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. I want to make sure I'm pursuing this, or I want to see what happens with it. And just, I was kind of talking out of both sides of my mouth, and she kind of picked up on it even more than I did. Or I didn't at all, really. And then I was like, I don't know, we just kind of stopped talking about it because there was no reason to, dive any deeper. We were just kind of talking about things we wanted to do and things I was looking forward to and projects I wanted to take care of. So that conversation kind of ended, and the rest of my break was cool. I was hanging out with her, and, we didn't really bring it up every day or anything like that. It was just, 1 or 2 days where that topic kind of arose. And then it went away. The next day or two, when I came back from that trip, I just started to feel like this struggle of wanting to maybe pursue those topics and wanting to pursue those other passions. And then I was at home alone, just watching some Netflix one night, and it really hit me that the truth was, it wasn't just that I had this burning desire to pursue other creative outlets, which was true. It was also that I think I'm done with this creative outlet. I think I'm done with music. And it hit me hard. I really realized that was the issue. I felt like, okay, this has run its course. I don't want to pursue this anymore. I'm done. And when I really realized that, I just broke down and cried. I just started, bawling like, the most dramatic, couldn't speak if I wanted to kind of crying. Like, I just let it all out, because I felt at that moment heartbreak. I realized that was really the problem, was that I don't want to keep going on this route. At the time, I was really new to game audio, to like sound design and composing for games. I composed for my own projects and other, commission things before. But I really, it's tough transitioning, even though it's all music and all sound. It's tough transitioning to different elements of music, in the music industry. And it was harder than I thought it was going to be honest. I didn't realize how difficult it was going to be. But I was okay with that. It wasn't even that. It wasn't the difficulty. It wasn't the road. By the time July came up, I had a clearer sense of the process and what it's going to take to be great at this. And I was okay with the work. It was just, that's what was really scary about it, it wasn't the work. It was, I don't want to do the path. I don't want to I don't want to walk on this road anymore. It's like, we got to go to this area, and it's like, I don't want to go there. I can, I was sure of myself enough that I'm like, I have the talent. I know if I keep going, it's inevitable. But what if I don't want to go? And that's when I really realized I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to pursue not just those music avenues, but any of them, the ones I was doing. I'm just like, I think I'm done. I think it's time for me to do something else. And I never felt that before. Not like that. I had my days of doubt like anyone else. We all have our our insecurities, and like, you wonder if what you're making is good and things like that. I've had that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like literally just, I don't want to do it anymore. I think I'm out of here. And it was really scary. I cried. I felt heartbreak. I just felt like if you break up with somebody, where like, even if it's for the right reasons, but you still have love, but you're just sad that it's over. That's what I felt. And it was so strong. So then, after the whole thing with the hoopla was done, I wiped my tears and all that, and I said, okay, well, I just kept watching whatever I was watching, and then I went to bed, a couple hours later, and I just woke up the next day, and I still felt the same. And I'm like, okay, now I know it's real, because we've all had bad days, and then usually, the morning you feel better. I mean, I felt better, but I didn't feel better. I still felt the same thing, which was that I'm done with this industry and this career. So I said, okay, I'm going to sleep on it some more. I'm going to think about it some more. What's this next step? What's the process going to look like? This is a big, change. Let's work it out and think about what the next steps are. So I didn't do anything drastic. I still kept practicing and still kept, doing my creative aspects. I don't think anyone really noticed besides my immediate family, because I told them. Because I was just like, well, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, so let me just keep going and, let me figure it out. And then I what I did was, now at this point it's probably like mid to late July, and I said, okay, I'm going to give myself till October to think about what the route is, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to pursue it, and then I'm going to start, light in October on whatever creative writing outlets I'm going to be pursuing, and then we'll work from there. So that was my mentality. It's like, you still feel this way in October, we'll kick it off. We'll obviously have to have it all ready in September, so that way October 1st, boom, like I got content, I got an idea, I got a structure, things I can share with people, I'm ready to go. But the funny thing was, by the time September came and October came, I no longer had those feelings anymore. I just slowly kind of worked through them. I kept working on what I was doing. I was getting some more successes, but it really wasn't that fixed it. It was just time, because I still have a lot of love for music, and it was just a moment of realization that it's not permanent, and that maybe those feelings can come up and can happen, right? So it was pretty shocking, but it was also eye-opening for me to remember, hey, this might not be permanent even if you want it to be. You have to listen to your heart and your body, and do the best you can with the time you have, and be honest with yourself about the directions you want to go. And yeah, I really, I should have documented maybe better my emotions. When did I really know? But I just started getting fired up for music again. I was passionate about making more videos. I was passionate about being a bigger member of the game audio community. I was so excited about. I did a lot of holiday music covers and stuff this year, in 2019, and it was kind of like, I guess the best way I could describe it, since I mentioned like a breakup, it was almost like music were separated, and then we kind of worked through everything, and I saw things I could do better, and the relationship ended up getting stronger through the adversity. So actually, funny now, as I sit here in early January 2020, it's probably the happiest I've ever been with my career. It's probably the most inspired and hungry I've been since like the beginning. And I feel like right now things are they really couldn't be better. I'm super excited for the music I'm making, and I'm really pumped. I think this is gonna be a enormous year for me creatively, and I'm pumped about it. So I just kind of wanted to share that, because it's kind of one of those things people don't talk about a lot, that you can quit, and that you can feel like legitimately like quitting, even as a person who quote unquote is successful. I pay all my bills through music. I make a living on music. I have nothing, in my opinion, I have nothing left to prove to anyone. You could always do more, and I do want to do more, but my resume is good, and I'm at peace with what I've done so far, and I think anyone who's skeptical or whatever, I don't know what to tell them. I've done everything that a quote unquote hater would bring up as a thing you haven't done. I've done most of the accomplishments that anyone would ask of me at this point. Like I said, bigger things coming up, but yeah. So it wasn't a matter of not being good enough. It was just not wanting to do it, and I never thought of that as even something that could happen to me. But again, I talk a lot about doing this forever and doing it for a long time, and that's something to realize, that even though I want to do this forever, I might not do it forever, because this time I was able to get through that and work through it. Maybe next time I won't, and maybe next time I won't want to. I'll actually realize that my happiness is do something else, and that this was, my run was, 12 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is. So understanding life's long. I'm still very young. I'm right now 31, which, if you're like 18, that is old. But if you're like 63, you understand, you could quit. You could start something new today, and you'd be 40 and have 10 years experience in it. So, and also acknowledging that with myself, that maybe I will have. It's cool that I have so many passions that one can even drive me close to that. So yeah, I learned a lot from that, and hopefully by sharing it, I'm me being 100% honest and open about struggles that I've had can inspire you, motivate you. Maybe you've had similar struggles, or think that I'm just a highlight reel or something. I want to make sure that I'm always being upfront about those negative experiences, because I also shout out the positive ones. So I want to be honest about what this whole process is like. And that was the story of how I almost quit music this July. I'm very thankful that I was able to work through that. I'm not gonna say I'm thankful that I didn't, because again, I'm always a person who's going for happiness and going for what's best for themselves as a human being. And if one day music's not the answer, I will walk away. And I thought I was going to, and luckily for my music career, I didn't. I ended up the feelings came back, and I worked through those struggles I was having. So let me know in the comment sections below what you thought of this story. Are there any parts that you feel like you want some more explanation on? Is there something that would help clear up, how this happened and how I got through it, how I worked through it? Have you ever had a major moment where you didn't want to do anything creative anymore, and did you work through it? Did you accept the fact that you were done with it and move on in a healthy way? I'd love to hear the stories of people in their creative aspects and how they went through those different arcs of wanting to do it, not wanting to do it, completing projects, not coming back to projects. And yeah, I would be very thankful if you would like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm looking forward to the next video, and I'm really looking forward to what 2020 has in store for us all. So until next time, I'll see you later.